This is not the church of Joseph Smith. This is the Church of Jesus Christ.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Day is halfway over with, as Amen is in the sky. Emmanuel, the sun at noonday. It's the day before conference weekend. And I'm being ghosted today. It's unbelievable. It's like everybody in mass just all got together and said, "Don't watch Travis's videos. Stay away." No, it's the YouTube Mormon employee that we have to thank for that one. Unless there is a chat group that actually talks about me behind my back. I don't think so. Mormons don't know that I'm that important in the world. And so that's the sad thing, is Mormons know that Jesus is important only because he founded the Church of Christ. No, Travis, it was the Church of Jesus Christ. No, Mormon, you're not reading your Joseph Smith papers, the authoritative source now. Our canon of Scripture, the Quad, is invalid. It's no longer any good. The Joseph Smith papers are now the authoritative source. The church says this. It's on the home page. And I've been showing it to you, and I've been telling you about it, and you're not listening to me. But you get all excited also because Joseph Smith is prophesied in the Book of Mormon. That is so cool, man. Our prophet was prophesied. And you don't stop to comprehend that they're also talking about the latter-day prophet who will be a Mormon. In the very same passage, right there in 2 Nephi chapter 3, and everybody misses it, sort of. There have been a few people who have caught on and have wondered. They don't know it, they don't understand it, but they're suspicious, they're curious. And so if I were to say the one mighty and strong, Mormons then go, oh yeah, okay. But Joseph Smith was human. He's not supernatural. He wasn't immaculately conceived. And you're saying, yeah, so? He's real. And that's the whole point, is that the Book of Mormon is in the learning of the Jews. That's why Joseph Smith is in there. Because as the learning of the Jews, it was not Egyptian gold plates. That's code. In the learning of the Jews. And so, yes, it shouldn't shock anybody to find out that Sidney Rigdon is the major author of the Book of Mormon. And that Joseph Smith Sr. had to rewrite the 116 pages because he was the master mason in Canandaigua, New York, helping William Morgan write his book until William Morgan had to flee the country. So Joseph Smith Sr., as the master mason, had the duty and responsibility to help William Morgan flee the country and finish the publication of the book. That's why they couldn't use the Batavian press. They had to find another press. That's why they had to find money elsewhere to publish the book. And thus Martin Harris. And then Martin Harris insisted and demanded that if he was going to pay for it, he wanted to be a part of it. Nope. Can't show you the Egyptian gold plates. Here's some characters. Oh, you took them to New York, did you? Oh, but you still want to work on this and publish it, huh? As long as you participate. And then he steals 116 pages. Takes it to his anti-Mason committee up in Palmyra. And so Smiths had to go on sabbatical for a year. until it all died down. And then when it was time to publish, finishing the book, that's when Joseph went back to Martin Harris and to check and see if the coast was clear to proceed with the publication. And so not a single Mormon should be upset by this. Mormons should be excited. Oh, that's how it all happened. That's the real church history. That's awesome. Church is so true. But nope. And why nope, Mormons? Because it has to be Jesus. You have to deny history. You have to deny science. You have to deny logic in order for you to believe. To God. But yeah, it means the prophets are lying to us. That means we are being deceived. I kind of wonder if I should put this up on a little stand of some kind if I can find something. I'm annoyed by the light above. I fixed the chair and got some other stuff set up here. But the learning of the Jews means there's another human mortal who is going to be the Mormon Christ. But you're stuck on Jesus, and so you won't look for him. You don't even know to look for him. You don't believe that you have to look for him. You don't believe he's real. He's the Antichrist. I see that by Christians. YouTube wrongly believes that I'm interested in Christian videos, and so they put them on my homepage when I'm not signed in. Because if they were on my signed in page, I can just say, don't recommend this channel. Which I think YouTube made the change because too many Mormons were getting my videos on their channel. Don't recommend this video. But yeah, when you have an idol god, you tend to do stupid things. Things that don't make any sense. Because, I mean, why would you destroy somebody's life because you believe that Jesus is real? Isn't Jesus a God of love? Why are you destroying somebody's life? Because he has a different religious viewpoint. Why, Mormons? Are you unable to live in a world where there are Mormons who believe in the learning of the Jews for the Book of Mormon and for Joseph Smith? Aren't you able to live side by side? We'll have to change Wikipedia. Brigham Young will be those who believe that Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon are Christian, and Brigham Young will be the first president of that group, that branch off. And then we'll have another one that believes that Joseph Smith is the learning of the Jews because it says so, and that Joseph Smith is also the learning of the Jews because the Book of Mormon is the keystone. You have to be the second president, huh? You have to be the one true successor. Nothing else will do. You know, you want Jesus as the Christ. You don't want this other apostate, Korahor, devil-worshipping group. I bet they even put the Lucifer's inverted pentagram on the keystone of the doors of their temple. What do you bet? Because they worship Lucifer, don't they, Mormons? You know, you can't let them have religious freedom, can you? The Church of the Devil with the Church of the Lamb, because you're obviously the Church of the Lamb, even though you have no clue what the Lamb means because of Jesus, other than, well, he's a shepherd. No, he's called the Lamb here. Well, so he's a sheep, and you don't get it. See, whereas the learning of the Jews, Mormonism, they know what the sheep represents. It's the constellation Aries for 8 April 2024, the sign in the heavens for the third day of darkness. It's a whole different religion, guys. But when you have a false belief, you stray far from the truth. Literally. So that you become scary. You become crazy. You know, you're psycho. You can't have conversations with people because you're so far gone from reality. And so because he's human and real, and because these are the latter days, we're in the final year of the latter days. This is a bicentennial year of the second vision of Joseph Smith by Nephi. Because again, learning of the Jews, Mormonism. It's Nephi. Get it from the Joseph Smith papers, the original documents. Jesus Christian Joseph is Moroni, the Moroni statue on the temples. But it means you can find him. You can physically experience him. None of the spiritual witness Jesus stuff. You can physically see. You can tell people, I saw him. I talked with him. He's a little queer. But nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it's like an undercover Jesus. But instead of Jesus, it's Emmanuel. But yeah, there are people who actually, I heard, it was decades ago, the feminists were trying to rewrite the Bible to be more feminine friendly. And I haven't heard about their success and completion of that. But you can't do that. If you have to change it, it's not true. And so either your beliefs are wrong, or you have to dismiss the Bible altogether. And I'll give you a hint, their views are wrong. Because the Bible is the learning of the Jews, both old and new. They're not testaments of Jesus. And so, yeah, that means he's here, Mormons. The prophecies of the learning of the Jews Mormonism, not the Jesus Mormonism, the learning of the Jews Mormonism, the prophecies say he's here in Utah. He's speaking to Mormons, to as many as will hearken to his voice, warning you of the dangers of the other Mormonism. And so, yeah, I mean, I have so many people who listen until they can't listen no more. And most of the younger generation and women are more inclined to TikTok viewing and get bored after a few seconds. That light is getting in my eyes, Travis. You know, if you just want to listen, you can listen. You don't have to watch. They have a podcast thing, but yeah, Jesus doesn't meet the checklist. I can testify to you because I have physically found him. I have identified him. I know he lives because he meets every prophesied check on the checklist. And do you know what that means? Should we try again? Should we do Matthew or should we do from the Book of Mormon? Book of Mormon is in the Book of Mormon? What? Good old Neum, the one and only location. I found these in the Egyptian documents, by the way. And the God of our fathers who were led out of Egypt, out of bondage. That's talking about Moses. The man like Moses. You've been watching my channel, right? Learning of the Jews Christ. Learning of the Jews Mormonism. With the man like Moses, who's named Emmanuel. And we're also preserved in the wilderness by him. Yea, the God of Abraham, and of Isaac, and of Jacob, yieldeth himself according to the words of an angel, as a man. What? Into the hands of wicked men. So if this is a Mormon, and he's mortal, who are the wicked men, Mormons? Jesus Mormons. To be lifted up according to the words of Enoch. Oh, there's a checklist. Was he lifted up? I've done the thumbnail pictures for you. He was from the crossroads. Emmanuel, the sun at noonday. Noonday. Solar eclipses. They create a path on the earth, and they cross over America for the first and last day of darkness, the full latter days. To be crucified, according to the words of Neum, and to be buried in a sepulchre, according to the words of Zenos, which he spake concerning 3 days of darkness, which should be a sign given of his death unto those who should inhabit the isles of the sea. See? Jesus Mormons, I believe it's Jesus of, not Constantine of their own creation, but exactly the same thing that Constantine did. Formed Christianity 325 CE. Said Jesus is going to be our Christ. Created out of nothing. We'll pick the name of this character in these Jewish documents of apocalyptic literature, and we'll turn them into literal history. And so there's your Jesus Mormons. But Jewish Mormons, whole different story. See, because reality, physical evidence, can be judged. That's why the checklist has to meet the checklist. If he doesn't meet the checklist, it ain't him. And I'm sorry, Mormons, but to claim that you create a person, call him the same character from the stories, and then try to claim that he has checked all the checks on the checklist, because he doesn't. Because you have to use the learning of the Jews in order for it to be checked off. Because otherwise, if you call it literal history, science can't support you anymore. The laws of physics can't support you anymore. You're on your own. You're making it all up. And so, no, Jesus does not fulfill prophecy, even though he says he does. It's because you're not using the learning of the Jews. And if you were to use the learning of the Jews, it's not Jesus. So you're in a conundrum. Big word, huh? And so, yeah, I'm able to get 3 off of my checklist of videos with this video. But yeah, you are supposed to do what I did. You're supposed to look for your Christ and know the signs in the heavens, because you will know that he's here, and you will know who to look for and how to identify him, because you're studying your scriptures, not read, pondering, and praying for a spiritual feeling that Jesus is true. See, Elijah, when he does battle with the priests of Baal, it's a mockery of the priests of Baal because they can't physically produce the manifestation of Jesus. I mean, Baal. And so Elijah mocks them. Is he taking a piss? Should we wait for him? Oh, you won't find that in our King James Version translation. You'll have to refer to the actual Jewish translation of that passage. So, how do I get it through to an audience that's stuck on Jesus Mormonism? Because learning of the Jews Mormonism, there's dire warnings. And learning of the Jews Mormonism, the prophecies for the latter days are all being fulfilled. Whereas Jesus has yet to show up on the court. He doesn't exist. He's forfeited the match. The latter days have been forfeited by Jesus. And so it's no wonder that Nelson came out the other day saying that the Salt Lake Temple has been extended until 2026. Whew. Having trouble getting Jesus to the game, huh? There's been a delay. Jesus and his white horse have not been identified yet. Seriously, Rapturepalooza, hilarious. They shoot down Jesus on his white horse. That's to mock Christians. Because Christians believe that something that isn't real is real. And if it's real, you can kill it. You can cause us death. And yeah, Mormons are doing the best they can, aren't they? And they almost got me at the shelter. They almost got me locked up indefinitely for 6 years of my life. And I don't know. What does it take to pull you out of Jesus Mormonism over into learning of the Jews Mormonism? How do we get you across that gulf? That great gulf that divides the wicked from the tree of life. Oh, you recognize that from the Book of Mormon, don't you? Good for you. So many frustrating things going on this morning for me. Computer illiterate, and so I have to figure out things on my own. Very frustrating. And so there's a lot of makeshift stuff. Lots of problems. I've got a package being held hostage because the apartment building put my wrong email. And I still haven't gotten back from the... This is not a complicated thing to fix. But they're making it complicated, and it's a Friday. So, I'm having fun. How about you? But yeah, this conference, after it's done, I don't expect Mormons to even be searching for my type of videos anymore as normal. And this is it. This is the last day. This is the last year of the latter days. And so I'm concerned there may not be an October conference for me. If we do, great. I will expect and plan for lots of videos to get lots more views. And I am anticipating a death. I still have to finish that chart, and I didn't finish it, and because I didn't finish it, it's now been put in a pile of list of things to do. Just like the Book of Mormon, comparing the 1830 edition with the 1981 edition. It just halfway through that one, didn't finish it. Now it's in a pile of a list of things to do. And I should write it out of all the things I need to do, but the list is too long now, and so I would end up making that a list of things to do to make a list of things to do. I need help. And it doesn't help that I got that computer going. That's working great. Even though the screen is the red screen of death. But that's just the cord thing for the monitor. It shouldn't affect the quality of the work I'm doing. And then this one. I've now got to do something different for this one. Because I'm computer illiterate. So, anyway. Fun times.